Good morning, YouTube. It is Tuesday morning. It is like 7:20 in the morning. I have an 8 a.m. class, but I thought I would go ahead and get this video started. So today I did this in my Facebook group for my transformation group and they really enjoyed it. So I thought that in this video I would just go over some fitness myths throughout the video. I might just film it over a few days and just hit different ones as I think of them or as they come up. But this is something that I think that you guys will enjoy. I'm not going to get super detailed into each one, but I do just like kind of want to cover some of the top fitness myths that I see. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you are watching now, be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment below anything that you want to see in future videos, and let's get started. So I'm in kind of a rush, but we will get to topic one. Give me a second. Okay, so myth number one. I was gonna film this before I left for class, and then I literally had like 3 minutes before I had to leave, so I decided to wait. Went ahead and went to the gym, got my workout in. I'm about to head to class again, but wanted to get this part filmed. Anyways, myth number one is going to be that you have to eat breakfast, or that skipping breakfast is bad or slows down your metabolism, whatever way that you've heard it. I just want to clear this one up because it's really not true. I personally, whenever I am in a fat loss phase, it helps me a lot to push my meals back. So one thing that I have been doing, unless I wake up early to work out, I have actually been trying to push my first meal till either like 10:30 to 11:30, and then eating like in an 8 to 11 hour window. So ending my meals, say if I ate my first meal at 10:30, you know, I would end my day at like 8:30 or even like 6:30 depending on the day. And that just helps me because it gives me bigger meals because I have less meals throughout the day. And it also helps me a lot with digestion and stuff because I get that long period where my body can kind of work to digest what I've eaten and just like rest from digesting food. So what really is going to be the factor in your metabolism and all of that kind of stuff is going to be your overall consumption, your overall calorie consumption. So if you are yo-yo dieting all the time and eating, you know, 4,000 calories one day because you went out for margaritas and chips and tacos, and then you're restricting yourself down to like 800 calories, or restricting all week at like 1,000 calories a day, and then going crazy on the weekends, or just overall constantly restricting, that's going to be what's going to affect your metabolism, slow it down, because our bodies are very adaptive. So if you are constantly eating, you know, 1,000 calories a day or whatever, your body wants to survive, so it's going to adapt down to that, and that's what slows down your metabolism. And the term slowing down metabolism isn't always bad. So right now I'm in a dieting phase. My metabolism is slowing down, and that's just part of the natural process of it. When your body has less calories, it doesn't need, or it needs to be more efficient with those calories, so it's going to adapt to that. But whenever it comes to eating breakfast, eating right when you wake up, that kind of thing, that is so totally up to just personal preference. What you need to actually be concerned about is that you are having a consistent calorie count that is in line with your goals. So if your goal is to build muscle, then you need to be in a caloric surplus. If your goal is fat loss, a caloric deficit. If you want to maintain like maintenance calories, and that's not to say that there's no room for like meals or some days when you are in a surplus or whatever, but that's a totally different topic. The main point here is if you want to eat breakfast right when you wake up, do it. But if it helps you to wait till 11 to eat your first meal so that you get bigger meals throughout the day, or for your digestion, or for whatever reason it may be, then do that. It's totally up to preference. Just have your calories where they need to be. Obviously I track macros, so I also care about like my proteins being where they need to be, carbs and fats, whatever. But that is myth number 1. I'll get more into details on like my macros, what I plan to do with those in probably a different video, like what I plan to do after I cut, if I'm gonna track forever, but that's for a different video. And I hope that that tip was helpful. Comment below if you are enjoying this video, and I will get to another myth whenever I think of one. Awkwardest outro ever. I literally didn't have planned what I was gonna say. But yeah, I have like 4 more myths that I wanna cover in this video, so hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I just got back from the grocery store. Excuse my little sweater, I'm still really cold. It's like 27 degrees outside and I'm just like not feeling it today. But I just went and got groceries, so I'm gonna show you guys everything that I got. And I just tracked my dinner into my phone. I'm really just craving something super simple for dinner because I have honestly had a very long, stressful day. I had 3 classes today, all at different times, so I was kind of back and forth doing work and emails between all that. So I just like want to make kind of like a breakfasty thing. I'm just doing like some eggs and some butternut squash and Brussels sprouts and some cauliflower rice, super random, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you guys everything that I got at the grocery store, and then we will go into myth number 2. As I was thinking about the myths that I wanted to cover, there was literally so many that I could think of. So please note there's literally, I could probably do a video on like 40 of these. If you guys want another video after this, I'd be happy to do another one. But I just chose 5 that I personally feel strongly about. But there's lots more, obviously. Okay, anyways, here we go, groceries. So I made sure to get everything this week so that I could show you guys literally basically everything that I always get. So we're gonna start with veggies. This week I am doing butternut squash for like my orange type veggie. I always do this or sweet potatoes. Since I am dieting or in a cutting phase, y'all ignore the snail. Ugh. I choose butternut squash because I can eat more of it for less carbs. I have some Brussels sprouts that I will also bake in the oven. Some zucchini, some riced cauliflower. I actually like the one with veggies added, but they didn't have any. And then have shredded lettuce and a baby spinach and kale blend for my salads. I do both of these. Get my dark greens in for just health, shredded lettuce for volume and a little bit of crunch. I've been obsessed with this Hidden Valley Greek yogurt dressing brand. I like the spinach and feta and the Caesar flavor, and they have another flavor I like. I forgot the name though. And I've been putting this on my salads along with this edamame hummus or roasted red pepper hummus, either one. And then I also do, oh, I forgot to get these out. Where are they? I do these little, cool, these little snap pea crisps in there. So that was the veggies for the week. My fruit, I just got some blueberries. Pro tip for if you are in a caloric deficit, I love to do berries. First of all, they have more fiber, especially blackberries. Those are my favorite, but they were way too expensive this week. But these also, you get more bang for your buck carb-wise. So for carbs, we have my Better Oats. I actually did not get these at Walmart. I get these at Kroger. My mom stocked me up when I went home for the weekend. And then I have some chocolate rice cakes. Also get caramel, which are in my pantry already. These are the flatbreads that I use, Joseph's flatbreads. For one whole flatbread, it is only 14 grams of carbs. I love these. I cut them up, bake them in the oven. And then I got some tea just because I want to try this kind before bed. I got some Siggy's yogurts. I like to put sugar-free Jell-O mix in here and make like a little dessert. For my meats, I am very particular when it comes to meat. I get wild-caught fish, organic grass-fed meats, cage-free eggs, that kind of thing. So I got some mahi, grass-fed beef. I got 93.7 cage-free egg whites. And then I also got some chicken breast tenders. I make my crock-pot barbecue chicken with this, and I get the tenders so that it doesn't come out dry. And I make it with this sugar-free G. Hughes barbecue sauce. And then I got some little tuna packets, creamy Swiss Laughing Cow. and then some uncured chicken bacon. And I realize that these two aren't like perfect, but I do try my best to get the best option when I can when it comes to my meats. So obviously there's also things like my coffee, almond milk, nutritional yeast, seasonings, all that kind of stuff that I also have at my house already, and all my supplements that you guys see. But this is a typical grocery haul for me, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It would look a little bit different if I was trying to be in a caloric surplus or even maintenance. I would probably have some more heavier carb sources like rice and that kind of thing. But right now, this is what I've been eating. So we're going to go into myth number 2. So for myth number 2, I want to talk about macros. And the myth I'm going to cover is that macros are a restrictive way of dieting. So I have seen all over Instagram lately, or just social media in general, macros just like getting slammed on. And I think it's because of the stage of IIFYM, if it fits your macros, where everybody was just posting like they would start macros and just fit as much crap into it as they could. I mean, you guys remember those people, the accounts where they were posting like only, you know, ice cream with a Lenny and Larry's cookie on top and that kind of thing. And that's just a very false representation of what it really means to flexible diet and track your macros, at least the approach that I follow. If you do take the IIFYM approach, where you just shove everything in that's bad for you, Pop-Tarts, whatever, all day, then that's not what I'm talking about. But I think that after that little stage, people kind of were like, oh, well, macros isn't good either, whatever. But I want to say, macros is not like some super restrictive thing, and you don't like have to hit your macros perfectly every single day, and you don't have to track macros forever. So there's a lot of points that go along with this one. I'm gonna try to like summarize it pretty quickly. But basically, if you have a specific goal, macros are going to help you get there, and it's going to help you learn more about food and what your body really needs. So if you have, say, a fat loss goal or a muscle building goal or a maintenance goal, it's very, very important to know how much you're putting in your body and how your body is responding. So that's going to start with determining your calorie needs. And then from there, the reason why I love macros so much is because each macronutrient, that's protein, carbs, and fat, play a different role in our body. So learning how much of each our bodies respond well to, and how they fuel our body and what's in certain foods is so important. Even just for living a healthy maintenance lifestyle, it's very important to know what's in your foods and how eating out can affect that, and how choosing a different cut of a meat can affect that. And all of those kinds of things are what you learn whenever you do track your intake. And on top of that, I think that you just learn kind of the area that your body maintains at. And a lot of you watching, like if you don't track and say you've been trying to lose weight for a long time and you've just kind of been restricting yourself, your problem might be that you're under eating. And if you tracked, maybe you would start to see the progress that you've been wanting to see. And also another thing about this is, like I said, you don't have to be perfect with macros. Just because it's like, if it fits your macros, it doesn't have to be like to the single gram every single day. It's more a consistency thing than a perfection thing. And I think a lot of people confuse that as well. And then also, macros is not just about macros. Micronutrients are so important. I mean, you guys saw my grocery haul. Yes, I have some fun foods in there. I have some Cool Whip and some rice cakes and stuff. But for the most part, I eat whole grains, vegetables, fruits, lean meats, that kind of stuff. So I think the whole thing is just a huge misconception. And like I said, you don't have to track macros forever. I'm not gonna track macros forever. After this cut, I wanna maintain for a little bit, and just not track and just live and eat healthy and be healthy. But for specific goals, tracking is definitely the most effective way to get there, and you learn so much. If it weren't for my years of tracking macros, I wouldn't have the knowledge that I do to stop tracking and be able to maintain where I'm at. It just kind of gives you a good knowledge base about just foods in general and what you might need to cut out on, what you might need to add based on your goals, what you need to do for maintenance. So even if you just track for a couple months just to see and learn about your body and about foods, it's not some like totally restrictive crazy thing. Like, it's just very good knowledge to have. And whenever people say intuitive eating, I think that to intuitive eat well, you should track macros before, because how can you make an intuitive, smart decision if you don't have the knowledge base, if that makes sense? So hopefully this made sense to you guys, but basically the myth that I want to bust is that macros is like super restrictive and it's an unhealthy relationship with food, because it does not have to be at all. In fact, it has made my relationship with food amazing, because I fit in little things that I love, and I see that food is not the enemy, and I see that there's no good and bad foods. It's just about amounts and balancing it. And yeah, so that is myth number 2, and I'm about to put all my groceries up, cook dinner, and I'm super excited to get into the rest of this video. I'll try to make the other one shorter. I don't want this video to be like a year long, but love you guys, hope you're enjoying it. Give it a thumbs up if you are, and I'll see you in a little bit. And just so you guys can see the finished product of my dinner, I have some rice, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, butternut squash, and egg whites, and it's all cooked in nutritional yeast. So I just thought of one more point on macros. This is literally so like after the fact, but also one thing about tracking is you can track, and then like if you feel like you need a mental break for a day, like don't track for a day, you know? Okay, that's all. Just wanted to add that in there. Okay, so I just took a bath. That is why I have this thing around my head. Washed my face, took all my makeup off, and then I had a mug cake. If you guys don't know what that is, you should go to my Instagram. I also have, I think I have a full YouTube video of me making it, but I'll show you guys a picture, or I guess my Instagram story real quick. This is my mug cake. It's made with my level 1 protein, powdered peanut butter, cocoa powder, almond milk, sugar-free Jell-O mix, and I already said almond milk, and baking powder. And then I just microwave it, and I top it with usually Cool Whip and some form of nut butter. So anyways, I just had that, and this is going to bring me into my 3rd fitness myth. This is the final one for today, and then tomorrow I'm going to do the last 2. So today I'm going to make them all nutrition related myths, and then tomorrow I'm going to focus on more exercise related myths. So number 3 is that carbs after a certain time are bad, or food in general. Eating past 8 p.m., eating past 10 p.m., whatever is bad. That could not be more just wrong and not scientific and not true. This one's gonna be pretty quick because it's going to kind of relate back to what I said this morning. What matters for putting on fat, for losing fat, for maintaining where you're at, is your overall calorie balance. And this can be broken down by days or even by weeks, because like I have also said, if you hit your macros on point or your calories on point Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Thursday, then you go crazy on Friday and Saturday, it can put your weekly average above. And then if you break it down by day, just what you hit that day is what matters, not when you hit it. So it will not be the eating past a certain time that is going to make you put on fat. It would be a caloric surplus. So there are just a few different factors that I do like to touch on when I talk about this, because whenever I eat too late, my digestion does suffer a little bit. So this can be a factor of eating late at night for some people. I actually like to have my last meal around 8. I'm not saying that always happens, but it helps me the most with my digestion. And I also notice that sometimes my cravings past a certain point are worse for like snacky type food. So if I just say like I'm done, my calories are full, I'm done eating for the night, I'm just gonna work on stuff and relax before bed, and don't make like food my right before bed thought. It helps me a lot mentally, and just for not reaching for those extra calories from snacks that weren't tracked kind of thing. But if you eat past 10 and it was tracked, and then it's not gonna affect you in any negative way, unless possibly it affects your digestion. It really might not. I just have to be careful. I have digestion issues Anyways, so this has been something that has helped me recently, is just pushing back or pushing forward my last meal to an earlier time so that my body has more time in the night just to kind of like recover, digest, that kind of thing. And it's not like having a big meal right before I go lay down in bed. But that's really it. It's not, so that's another preference thing and something that you might want to try out for those reasons, but not because it makes you put on fat or anything like that. It's your overall calories for the day that matter. So if you want to hit them at 10 o'clock and that works for you, that's great. If you want to end them at 7 o'clock, that's great. If you want to end them at 9:30, that's great. Just, y'all get the point. So I am about to go do some work, just a little bit more, and then relax, put my phone up, chill, and go to bed. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the next two and last two fitness myths for this video. Oh, totally cut off. What's up, YouTube? So I just got back from the gym and I need to get this set up straight. I did a little bit of walking and a little bit of abs, and then just like some stability work on my shoulder, so nothing super intense. But I wanted to go ahead and cover the last two topics, or two myths in one. Since I did just get back from the gym, I'm just gonna go ahead and cover them now. So myth number one, whenever it comes to exercise, is that you can spot treat. So that doing abs is going to automatically make you burn fat on your abs. Doing shoulders or biceps is going to make you burn fat from your biceps. Doing squats and hip thrusts are going to make you burn fat from your butt. That is so not true. It is sadly far from the truth. Wouldn't it be great if it was true? It would make things a lot easier and a lot more just, I guess, yeah, easier. But that is not true. We don't get to choose where our fat comes off. Yes, we do want to be sure that we're hitting all muscles of our body so that we aren't creating any muscle imbalances or anything like that. But just because you're hitting shoulders and chest, and say you're hitting shoulders more than chest, doesn't mean that more fat's gonna come off your shoulders than your chest. That's not how it works. That is genetically just predisposed. Where your body fat comes off first, where it comes off last. Same thing with whenever you are maybe trying to put on some muscle and you're inevitably can't talk, gonna put on a little bit of fat with that. Your body decides where it puts that fat on first, where it puts it on last. Same thing with fat loss. You can do abs all day, but if your diet isn't on point and you aren't losing body fat in general, you're not gonna be able to see your abs. And genetically, you may lose your abdominal fat last. You might lose it first. I personally lean out in my waist and my arms first, and then my lower body. But some people lean out in their lower body first, and then their waist and their arms. It totally depends. And I'm not saying don't work your abs, don't work your glutes, don't work those things, because that's still very important, and you want that muscle mass there for whenever you do lose the body fat. And especially when it comes to core, I think once people hear that you can't spot treat, they stop doing core. But core is so, so important, and just stability, muscular balance, so many things. So definitely still train core, but just realize that even though you're training it, doesn't mean you're automatically gonna get abs, and that doesn't mean that that's where your fat's going to lose from. Your fat, you lose body fat just overall, and it comes off at the rate, or at the rate from certain places that it wants. So that's that. And myth number two. So myth number two is going to be that fasted cardio is better than just cardio in general. And I will also tie in different cardio types here when I talk about this. So fasted cardio, when it comes to fat loss, is actually no different than doing your cardio post-workout, or split up into 2 sessions but eating before your cardio. It's no different when it comes to fat loss, because if you're doing a set amount of cardio, you're doing that to get into a certain caloric deficit So whether you create that deficit fasted or not doesn't matter. What matters is your total daily calorie balance. I keep going back to this. Now, I will say with fasted cardio, there are some benefits to it. So if you are dieting, you likely are on less calories, obviously. And so it might be helpful in pushing back your first meal. So if you go to the gym right when you wake up, and that forces you to have your first meal maybe at 10 versus if you ate it at 8, that can just push back your meals and give you more voluminous meals throughout the day, which I have found very helpful for myself. I don't even do fasted cardio, but I do like to push my meals back, which I talked about earlier. So that can be a benefit. Also just digestion benefits, kind of getting your body moving in the morning, whatever. But when it comes to fat loss, there really isn't a difference. It's up to personal preference. And if doing fasted cardio makes things a little bit easier for you, helps you space out your meals better, then I think it's a great thing. But if you don't want to do it fasted and you have, like, you feel like you can do it not fasted and be fine, then do that. I personally don't do it fasted. I do some random days, but it's not like a thing that I constantly do. Like sometimes if I'm really bored in the mornings, I'll just go ahead and go, then come back home and eat. But yeah, so that's that. And then like I was gonna say about cardio, also HIIT versus LISS, that is kind of also up to preference. So what I have found for myself and my clients is that I like to do mostly LISS steady state cardio, just because it helps me recover better. It's not as hard on like my joints. So if I am prioritizing my lifts, especially in a fat loss phase, you want to prioritize recovery and you want to prioritize lifting to your full intensity, as heavy as you can and recovering well. So if doing HIIT sprints and a bunch of circuits is going to affect that recovery or make you not be able to lift as heavy or intensely, then maybe switching to LISS more often would be a better strategy, because the goal is to keep as much muscle as possible in a fat loss phase. So for me, LISS is super easy on my joints, but I still get my cardio in, and honestly, I really enjoy just kind of taking a chill mental break, watching some YouTube videos, getting back to emails, whatever. And I will throw in some HIIT sessions here and there. I usually don't do straight up treadmill sprints just because they're so hard on my knees. I'll do like bike sprints or like a little EMOM circuit, but those kind of things I just kind of throw in for fun whenever I want some endorphins. But it's kind of up to preference. Just remember that you also want to make sure you're recovering properly from your lifts, because that keeping that muscle mass is going to be very important for fat loss. So that's myth number 5. Yeah, I hit 5. Kind of mixed a little 6th in there, but comment below if you guys want me to do another one of these videos and I can cover more. I got lots of them, or if you have any that you guys want me to cover, and if you have any ideas for future videos, throw them below. And be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. I had fun filming it. So I'm about to do some work, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I love you so much. Goodbye.